Seed to spoon and farm to fork. How is a meal produced? And how can a seasonal harvest become a year-round abundance? China is working with nations worldwide, sowing seeds for a shared future. Demystify your table and get to the grain of truth, only on Farmed with China. In Laos, like much of Southeast Asia, most people make their living from farming, and rice is the food that sustains them. Across the country, farmers are looking for ways to grow more on the same land. On Dong Kong Island, the island formed by the Mekong River in southern Laos, they're experimenting with triple cropping rice for the first time, pushing the limits of how much they can grow.
ที่ว่าอยู่ประเทศลาวเฮานี่มันบ่ทันมีการปลูกข้าว3ฤดูเนาะส่วนใหญ่เลยมันปลูกข้าว2ฤดูฉะนั้นอยู่เมืองโกงนี่เป็นเมืองที่ว่ามีการปลูกข้าว3ฤดูเนาะ
这个地方呢是老挝的最南部，因为他们每年只在雨季种植一季，并且产量很低，这样的话呢，对于老挝这个土地浪费资源就很大。
Three-season rice refers to rice that can be harvested 3 times a year. The key lies in breeding varieties with short growth cycles while maintaining high quality. Due to limited agricultural infrastructure and technology, Laos has historically introduced rice varieties from neighbouring countries with similar climates, such as Thailand and Vietnam. In recent years, however, climate change poses substantial risks to food security and livelihoods. Laos has turned its attention to China for new ideas in rice. With decades of experience in high-yield, resilient varieties, China is expected to help Lao farmers improve productivity and strengthen supply chains.
这个好像看不太出来，
看得出来呀，像这个细长，是不是不一样？跟这个真正的那个我们的青本。
But in Laos, the conditions are different. Climate, soil and terrain all shape how crops grow. What succeeds in one country cannot simply be transplanted to another. The challenge isn't copying the technology, but adapting it to local land and local lives. Ma Jingliang, a rice breeding specialist from Hunan province, one of China's major rice growing regions, has spent the past decade on Dong Kong working patiently to develop high-quality rice varieties suited to local conditions.
这个技术难关呢，就是说要到整个东南亚去选育那些野生稻，那个优质稻，再来进行我们的一个选育，再重新给它杂交。
一直到我们25年开始，我们真正的有自己选育出来的水稻品种。那么我们现在有10几个品种，也是通过前几年一些这个付出人力、精力、财力、时间成本的一些付出，才得到了现在我们的这个成果。
After a decade of dedicated efforts, the three-season rice demonstration base has achieved an annual yield per unit of land that is 8 to 10 times higher than traditional farming methods. This not only enhances local food supply, but also significantly increases farmers' income. Improving yields is not only about selecting the right seeds, fertilizers are also crucial. In Kham Muan province, Laos is home to abundant potassium salt deposits. In partnership with Chinese enterprises, the country now hosts one of Southeast Asia's largest fertilizer production facilities. These fertilizers provide an important source of potassium for crops across Laos and other Southeast Asian countries.
คือเราเนาะว่าปุ๋ยโพแทสเซียมเป็นสารอาหารชั้นดีของพืชที่จะสามารถ เฮ็ดให้ผลผลิตเพิ่มขึ้นกันแน่นอนกับปราศจากบ่ได้ว่ามีแต่ปุ๋ยโพแทสเซียมมันก็บ่สามารถใส่ได้แต่อย่างเดียวเนาะมันก็ต้องมีธาตุอาหารอื่นผสมโดยเฉพาะแม่นการผลิตปุ๋ยผสมคือข้าพเจ้าว่าต้องมีฟอสฟอรัสต้องมีไนโตรเจนมาผสมฉะนั้นก็อันนี้สามารถแลกเปลี่ยนกับบรรดาประเทศใกล้เคียงกับบรรดาประเทศที่มีท่าแห้งในสารอาหารอื่นๆโดยเฉพาะแม่นประเทศที่มีฟอสฟอรัสคือสปจีนแล้วก็มีไนโตรและก็การมีไนโตรเจนเพื่อมาเฮ็ดให้เป็นปุ๋ยผสม
Producing compound fertilizers enables Laos to directly leverage its potassium resource advantages into agricultural productivity, thereby enhancing local fertilizer self-sufficiency and providing stable support for increased grain production. Across the Potash Industrial Park, developed in partnership with China, more than 4,000 local residents now find work.
我们公司这边的话，主要是生产钾肥，给我们老挝人带来很大的收入。比如是我们村民，就是在我们公司附近好几个人都来我们公司这边上班，然后也增加了他们的收入嘛。
Growing more is just the start. The real test is getting farmers a decent price. Refined processing is a key stage after rice harvesting. During his visit to a rice processing plant in Vientiane, Liu Jiapin learned that leveraging the capital's well-developed transportation network, refined rice can be efficiently exported from here to neighbouring countries. The most efficient way and route is via the China-Laos Railway, connecting Vientiane in Laos and Kunming in China.
最多的时候，我们去年6月份一天干了9趟，到发9趟去。
The China-Laos Railway has not only facilitated travel between the two countries, but also significantly reduced logistics costs and time. This enables efficient transportation of agricultural products, farm machinery, seeds, fertilizers, and other agricultural supplies between the two nations. Since its launch in 2021, the railway has operated 64,000 freight trains, transporting a total of 72.5 million tonnes of goods. Liu's trip to Vientiane isn't just about selling rice. There's another stop on the list. The Lao China Crops Fine Varieties Experiment Centre is located in Vientiane, jointly established by Guangxi Agricultural Vocational University and the Lao National Institute of Agriculture, Forestry and Rural Development. Agricultural technicians from both countries work together here on crop variety trials. Born Savath Pongdara is the Deputy Director of this experimental station. He studied in China for many years, focusing on the fertilizers needed for rice cultivation. Because of his proficiency in Chinese, he was assigned to work at the station.
我们做的主要的工作是引进品种优良品种就是农作物品种就像果树蔬菜玉米水稻等等，就是属于农作物品种，包括种植技术大罗这边做试验然后筛选。
During his time in China, born Savath Pongdara developed a fondness for Chinese corn porridge. Upon returning to Laos, his primary work shifted to corn breeding.
我们是引进了玉米20个品种到了我这边试种调研，记载它那些不同的它的生长情况，包括它的抗病性它的产量玉米的质力符不符合老挝的市场还是农民的需要那些品种，因为每个品种拿过来 在中国可能是说是好，但是不一定在老挝是表现是好的，所以要拿到这边做试验筛选。
Working alongside born Savath Pongdara is Liu Feng from China, who's also been working at this experimental station for 6 years.
我们就筛选一个在当地接受度还是比较高的、产量也高的品种，叫 C188 的这个品种。选育出来以后，我们在老挝的这个南部推广，大概我们推广面积有5万多亩。
从中国学回来那个技术，要应用到我们那个科研工作上，帮助我们老挝国家有一个新的品种。
At the experimental station, there are not only staple crops like rice and corn, but also a large number of fruit and vegetable varieties. So far, the station has introduced and tested over 400 varieties, selected more than 80 for promotion, and formulated over 20 localised agricultural technical procedures. Additionally, it's trained over 3,500 agricultural technicians for Laos. Liu Jiabin hopes to collaborate with the experimental station in the future to trial and select crop varieties more suitable for the country. From the Mekong Plains to the world beyond, one question haunts us all: who will feed us tomorrow? Here, at least, a small answer is taking root. Chinese hands and Lao hands planting side by side, sharing skills and passing them on. Fields that once struggled, now holding their own. And just as importantly, the seed of new knowledge is being planted, normally a much harder crop to grow, but here it's flourishing.